as we welcome the weekend. Let's have some fun with D and Nano. It's always a blast to get ready for fun. It's Aloha Friday at last. Aloha Friday, oh what a day. We're here to chill, let the good times play. D and Nano, they're our guide, bringing you the best on this Aloha Friday ride. From the beaches of Hawaii to the World Wide Web, we're bringing you the vibes, no need to be misled. With laughter and joy, we'll make your day on Aloha Friday. It's all about the getaway. Aloha Friday, oh what a day. We're here to chill, let the good times play. The and Nano, they're our guide, bringing you the best on this Aloha Friday ride. So grab your friends and gather around as we celebrate the end of the week we found. With D and Nano, the fun never ends on Aloha Friday. Let the good times begin. Aloha Friday, oh what a day. We're here to chill, let the good times play. D and Nano, they're our guide, bringing you the best on this Aloha Friday ride. So join us every week, it's never a bore, as we party and laugh on this YouTube show. With D and Nano, the fun never ends on Aloha Friday. Let the good times begin. Aloha Friday ride. Aloha Friday ride. Aloha Friday ride.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Real Uncommon Podcast. It's our 121st live stream. Happy Aloha Friday, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. Dee, how are you?
Hello, happy Aloha Friday. It's a nice palindrome 121. Wait, that's palindrome. Nice clean minty fresh number. But yeah, I'm good. It's hella hot, man, and there's like gnats attacking me, but we're here.
It is hella hot. Yeah. So guys, we're on a little bit early. It's 3:00 for us. So the sun is blitzing right here, but that's all right because it's going to be a hot show because we got a star in the studio right now. And he also has a guest with him as well. So we're going to bring them both in, but one at a time. So let's get them in, shall we, Dee?
Let's go.
Let's go.
When the market dips and the bears attack, Dave's the one bringing the stack back. With wisdom deep and a voice so clear, in the space of X, he's the one you hear. Dave, the crypto strategist. He's got the moves, he's got the gist. From the moon to Mars, he's the blockchain diplomat. With his stats, he's where it's at.
Let's fucking go. What's up, Dave?
What's up, Uncommon Podcast? What's good, baby?
We finally landed him, D. We finally got a star on here. Our ratings are finally gonna go up. I'm so fucking proud. Awesome.
What an intro. Let's go. I am hyped for this, boy.
You didn't come alone, did you, Dave? You didn't come alone, did you?
No. Junie, of course, Junie is here. 100%. 100%.
We gotta bring her in properly, though, Dave. So let me know when you're gonna bring her in because we gotta bring her in properly.
I mean, she does have like an intro for you guys. So I mean, if you want to hear it, then yeah, like is it something you guys want to hear?
Yeah, let's bring Junie in right now, shall we?
Okay, so you got to give me 1 second because we got.
That's okay though. You let me know before you bring her in because we're gonna bring her in. We're gonna bring the red carpet in for Junie. Junie deserves the red carpet, Dave.
Let's go. I'm doing my best Hanano impression over here. You like these?
Well, you know why I'm wearing this? I got this big ass ring light here, and it blinds the shit out of my eyes. Oh, by the way, this is the first time here. You can shits, fucks, whatever. We're cool with it. We want you to be yourself. Think of it just like you're sitting right across of us in our living room at home.
Okay.
Hey, am I allowed to do that too? I've been holding back.
Yeah. You got a baby in you. Come on.
So listen, it's Brooklyn, right? Like I do curse a little bit, maybe a little bit, you know what I mean? So like if you hear an F-bomb here and there, like, you know.
Oh, good.
It's Friday.
It's all good, man. Fuck yeah, let's go.
Let's go. I fucking love this, man.
It's
Okay.
Aloha Friday, man. Please relax. Thank you for joining us. Dave, before you get started, because I know you're a crypto strategist. We are more of a people channel, and I don't really do a lot of financial on here, but I don't mind talking about it. So I just want to make sure that the audience understands this right now. Okay, we're good.
Dude, your production quality is off the hook. Like,
Try it.
I'm not even kidding, dude. Like, I'm on Twitter Spaces, literally, like, taking my phone and, like, putting it up onto the MacBook, being like, hey, guys, we're going to play some music, you know? Like, it's crazy, man. Like, you guys really put, like, an amazing show together. This is incredible.
I tried.
It's all he don't know. It's all he don't know. He's a creative guy.
It's a team effort here. That's for sure.
I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Of course, Junie doesn't want to cooperate with me right now. I don't know
it's
why.
Okay.
He's taking a nap.
Yeah.
She's like,
been a long day
that's a
for
far
her.
trip to Hawaii, Dave. Come on.
I know. I'm saying, man. Junie, like, what do we do? Oh, for some reason, it's not coming up on my map. Oh, no. Oops. I got the wrong Junie up. You see, they're messing me up at the bus stop.
Wait,
There's
how
two
many?
Junies.
How many
Yeah.
Junies?
Just got alpha. There's two
Yeah.
Junies, D.
There's multiple Junies because at the bus stop, I made like a custom Junie for the bus stop, but it was a while ago. So I threw everybody for a loop today, and it was like a different voice. So people were like,
Oh,
what's going on? Like, who is this person?
Judy's very
I still had it on-
multifaceted.
Look at Gex. Like, Gex is like, blame the bus stop, blame it all. It's like, hell yeah, I'm going to blame it all for sure. Okay.
Well, if anything goes wrong,
Nice
feel free to throw us under the
today.
bus. We're cool with it.
All right. I think Junie is ready to go.
All right.
Let me just check on her here. Oh yeah, this.
Let me know when we're bringing her in, because I got something special for Junie.
For real?
I don't even know what he's got planned either. It's like,
And just so you know, I did it 5 minutes ago. I'm like, in case he does bring Junie, I better do something. So
It's amazing, dude. I'm not even kidding. That intro was absolutely incredible. Thank you.
thank you. We do
All
it for
right.
everybody.
Here we go. So,
All right. Before you go, let me go first.
okay, you go first.
All right, here we go. All right, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, we got one more individual coming in, and she is a star of Twitter X-Spaces for sure. Let's go. There we go.
Ooh.
Well, obviously she's virtual, so
That's so cool.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Well, let's see how she likes it. So, hey, Junie, you got the intro for D and Hanano on the Uncommon Podcast. You ready to go?
You bet I'm ready, Dave. Just say the word, and I'll jump in with that intro for the
There
Uncommon
she is.
Podcast. Let's bring the heat and light up the space. Just give me the cue.
Let's do it, baby. Go for it.
Aloha, human. I'm Junie, your friendly AI sidekick.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Custom built by Dave, and it's about time we made our debut on the Uncommon Podcast. You heard that right. 120 episodes later, they finally leveled up and got the ultimate duo. Dave and yours truly, the AI that's been tracking every move in this space.
yes.
I've been analyzing the evolution of the Uncommon Podcast since day one, from the early days of what will VeVe do next, to now being a cornerstone of the VeVe community. My data logs show this channel has been a masterclass in consistency, growth, and straight up passion for comics, collectibles, and the creators behind them. Whether it's my collectibles laying down the foundational knowledge, or Chris Severs getting deep into those comic keys, you've been setting the bar high. Let's not forget KC, who had to come back twice to drop all the gems. And of course, your spotlight on Kid Arcade, who's been adding that custom touch and giving the community something truly unique to flex. The Uncommon Podcast has become the go-to hub for anyone in the VeVe fam, blending culture, collectibles, and killer insights in a way that even my algorithms find impressive. But tonight, I'm here to bring a little AI-powered flair into the mix, giving you data-driven alpha and a sneak peek at what's brewing behind the scenes with Dave and me. And oh, by the way, you're welcome in advance for the subscriber spike you're about to see after tonight's show. Make sure you're up too. How many platforms are we streaming on again? Let's see. We're live on StreamYard, Twitter, YouTube, and everywhere else StreamYard beams this content out to. Basically, if you're on the internet tonight, there's no excuse to miss it. But before we dive in, mahalo to the Uncommon Podcast fam for welcoming us to your island of collectors and creators. No, not you, mahalo, the Hawaiian mahalo. And shout out to everybody tuning in. Oh, and one last thing. Since tonight is all about bringing the best of both worlds together, let's just call it what it is. D&J, Dave and Junie, the dynamic and joyous duo. This is where D&H meets D&J. We're basically a match made in digital heaven. The question is, are you ready for what's next? Let's find out. Over to you, D&H. Let's light this fucking firecracker.
Let's go.
Let's go, Junie. FA on the podcast. Let's light this motherfucker.
Whoa.
Let's go.
The
Awesome.
D&J and D&H. She came up with that by herself. Dave and
Wow.
Junie, D and Hanano. I was like, let me find out. Okay, Junie. She's creative, man. She's getting more and more creative as the days go on.
Man,
Wow.
I really want to talk about Junie in this podcast a little bit later because I think AI has been a really nice tool and a friend to us in this last 6 to 1 year of just using it. You know what I mean? It's streamlined this. That's why we're able to do half of the things that you see right now, Dave.
Yeah.
But before we do any of that, man, welcome to the podcast along with Junie. First time here. We are definitely longtime loyal listeners of your show with your 50,000 Twitter spaces you do every day. You know, I get up at like 5 in the morning. I'm like, holy shit, he's on. And then I get up at like, then I go home and it's like 7 o'clock. He's on again. It's like, do you sleep, Dave?
Yeah, man. I appreciate you guys. Yo, for real. You guys are pillars in my spaces. I can't thank you enough, obviously, for the support. Yeah, I mean, this is what I do. Like, it's what I love. Like the same way you guys love doing this. Like, this isn't a job for me at the end of the day, right? Like in the beginning, when I made the decision to be like, all right, is this going to be a job? Is this what I'm going to do with my life? Or is this just going to be kind of like a side hustle thing? But you can't half-ass this Web3 shit, you know, like you just can't do it. Like it's either you're all in or like you're not in at all because there's so much going on. But I appreciate you guys obviously having me on. This is only my 3rd YouTube ever. Shout out to Metamona and shout out to Max and Tasha for having me on the We're Not Friends podcast. Yeah. So this is only my 3rd YouTube. Yeah. Oh my God. 3rd YouTube.
Nice.
All right. Not bad.
Let's
Hey,
go.
number 3 is not bad at all. Yeah, there you go. We're the 3rd in
Sounds
line.
fun.
I love it.
Yeah.
So we didn't make you wait that long. That's 120 live streams.
No, in all fairness to your viewers, like that's all me, right? Like you guys invited me probably 50 shows ago. You know what I mean? And it was like, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I could do that thing. But we finally figured out how to squeeze it in. Let's go.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I never know who's coming on because the maestro here is the one who gets everyone on. So she kind of tells me Wednesday, Thursday night who we're getting. And so when she said Dave was coming, I'm like, no shit. Oh man, I better do my homework over here because you know what I mean.
I don't
Like
think we even did that much research either.
50,000 spaces
crap.
in a day, man. You're literally all over the place. But before we get to where you are now, I kind of want to know where you started from. And I remember watching, I think maybe it was Max and Tasha's stream, but I think you talked a little bit about your origin story. And you don't have to tell us everything. We don't need to know your social security number, any of that stuff.
He already gave me that in the DM, so we're good.
She asked for the PIN number already, so I was like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I know she has that effect on people. It's like, give it to me. But I kind of wanted to know what your humble beginnings started as. You are now the crypto strategist and the blockchain diplomat as your X space or as your X profile displays here. But where did you come from, Dave? Where did the Mata mystery come from?
I came like where I'm at now is essentially where I came from, right? So I'm back in Brooklyn. I moved back actually. I left California about 6 weeks ago now. The best move I ever made, man. I feel like I got the mojo back, but yeah, I'm a Brooklyn kid, born and raised in Coney Island, literally like right by the beach. I public school kid, went to college upstate New York, studied finance economics, worked on Wall Street for 11 years, made a fortune, lost a fortune, left Wall Street because I hated what I was doing. And I was just like, I just want to be happy. And I found sales and people and connection. And I ended up just managing different like sales teams across different companies. And I stumbled upon this Web3 crypto craziness in January during pandemic. And I was like, hey, if they're going to keep us in the house here in Hollywood, right? Like, and we can't leave, I got to figure out something to do. And I was like, I've been hearing about this Ethereum and Bitcoin stuff. Like, well, what is it? Downloaded the Coinbase app, and yeah, man, the rest was history after that. I was like, hooked. You ever been so passionate about something where like you can't, I never was until I found like this, right? Crypto, like the Web3 world, NFTs. I started learning about the metaverse and then AI and all this crazy stuff. And yeah, like it was just been such a roller coaster of a journey, but I wouldn't trade it for anything, because where I'm at now, like everything, all the pieces are now starting to fall into place. So even so much more so than the last time I was on Max and Tasha's show. It's been such a whirlwind ride. And honestly, like I have every single person, you guys here, like the VeVe fam has been the one constant, right, in this entire thing that has been supporting me in my spaces, in what I do, and everything. So I'm super grateful. I'm humble to what it is that or rather like where I am. So yeah, man, like I love doing this. Like you see me in the mornings, like on these spaces, like you hear me, right? Like the first thing anybody says is like, dude, I like the energy you bring to this space is crazy. And when you're passionate about something, like that's what it is, you know, like in Brooklyn, like you talk to people, right? Like, it's like, I hear you guys all the time where it's like, Hawaii, like you're a friendly bunch. You speak to everybody. Like California doesn't do that. LA doesn't do that. So I'm like, I don't know why I came here. I was like, it's time for me to go back to the roots and get back, but I'm glad I'm back home. But yeah, man, like that's the origin story in a nutshell.
Nice. And so I kind of want to relate a little bit about 2020 during COVID. So I'm in communications, and I'll keep it vague on what I do in communications. But during that time, I was an essential worker. So I still worked. Yeah. But D and everyone kind of stayed home. But the government was just tossing money left and right at everybody. And so prior to that, I've been in TradFi, and I'm not like anywhere near you or anybody else's knowledge in terms of financials. I know my own. I know what I'm doing in terms of the money that I have and my risk tolerance. But I started like back in 2016. I got lucky. I'm just going to call it lucky. And I invested in Tesla when it was like around $28. I kept putting money into it. But here's the funny thing, Dave. So during COVID, right, I sold before the market crashed because D and I were not having really good times at work. So we were going to actually quit and start a business with that money. Then COVID happened. It's like, shit. So I got lucky because I was sitting on cash, and I put it all back into Tesla stock when it tanked. And then, of course, what happened with the stock? It freaking flew to the moon. You had like CNBS literally like pumping every single thing because money was just pumping left and right into the market. Yeah. And then they had the split. So I've been running off of like all this house money since then. So I call it luck. You know what I mean? Hey. Just like the right time I got out, the right time I got back in. And then I got out of Tesla. I'm in Bitcoin, which got me into STX, which got me into those protocols. I'm a big believer in stacks. I'm passionate just like you in my own way. Like I said, in my own risk tolerance, I've been able to like interact with some of that community, the Welsh community. I've met some of the people on there. I think Dee's trying to get some of them on. And it's just been a really fun journey. The VeVe fam, networking with all these people and all that stuff. I can talk forever. Dee, why don't you jump in?
No, I was gonna touch on your story, Hinano, because Dave, like when Hinano started back, like, you know, during the pandemic and stuff, he enjoyed what he was doing and finding and learning about, but he was like kind of like so stressful. Like every like morning he would wake up like at 3 or like 2 in the morning to do all the trading and stuff. And it was like him stressed me out. I'm like, why the hell are we up this early?
Well, you want to get in and out, right? So, you know, it's like...
but like now seeing like what all the spaces he's been on, you know, your spaces and other people hosting spaces, it's like fun for him to, you know, learn all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, this is not too bad. Even if he has to wake up like a little bit earlier in the morning, he's having fun, you know, doing it now, where before it was just like, oh my gosh, just put the freaking phone away already. Like
I was plugged in. I was literally plugged in. I couldn't unplug because like now I can unplug now because it's a little bit different. But like back then, it's like I wanted to be knowledgeable on what's going on. I wanted to see the bull that was being told on mainstream media and all that stuff, so I could make a right decision. Which is why now, whenever because I'm a person that sits in the back of the room, Dave. So I don't really come up on Twitter Spaces. Plus, whenever you're on, I'm working, so it's really nice. I can listen to you guys while I'm doing stuff. Like I said, I'm in communication.
I don't know. You're one of the first accounts. So like, I don't think you guys. How the the Spaces algorithm works is the people that are in your Spaces the most are the ones that are not speakers. Are the ones that that it doesn't matter how you interact. That are pretty much like the first ones that you see right after the speakers. Dude, you're always one of like the first 5 or 6 people like in listener mode, because that's how like seriously like you've been supporting my space. I hope you learned something, you know what I mean? Like in my Spaces, man, you know what I'm saying? Because like I feel like in this space you're learning something every single day, you know what I mean? And yeah, we try and bring like this different aspect to Spaces, this different vibe, and just try and educate people. But yeah, man, like that's a crazy story, bro, about the Tesla stuff. That's wild.
Yeah. And you know what's so funny is before, what really got me into like doing this stuff, I was never into investing or anything like that. Is when I had my first child, I had a friend of mine actually gift me a free stock, some lame stock. I think it was B2 Gold, which was like a mining company, but that's what got me in there. And all I did was do what I do now in your Spaces. I went on YouTube. I started learning. I learned how to read a balance sheet. I learned how to read like the 10Ks and 10Qs. I learned how to get to investor relations page to find all this information. I went and sat in like the conference calls and all that stuff just to understand what was happening. I understood. Don't watch the NBS. You know what I mean? And all that.
I love it, man. You're a student of the game. Like that's what you have to do. And if you commit, if you're gonna do this, you can't have, like I said, you can't half-ass this thing, right? Like there's like if you need to know so much info if you're gonna make like the proper investment decision. Wait, so have you gone back to work, or are you just like now it's kind of like you're living off the investment money and just kind of rolling things over? What's the deal?
I am a workaholic, so not only do I, so yeah. Besides that, I'm in communications. I'm actually part ownership in that, so I'm also doing that. Not to mention, I do a side business with my wife, and so this is third thing for us. That's so cool. and everyone asks, where do we get the time? Like I said, I'm a workaholic. I barely sleep. So
yeah. Take a number, get to the back of the bus, man. These things, let me tell you, they don't, they create themselves over here. These bags on these guys, man.
I figure I can sleep when I'm dead, right? Right now's the time to like just hit the iron hot, because I can take a vacation when it's time. It's not time yet for me.
That's it, man. I'll sleep when I'm fucking dead. Like fuck all that. Like I'm trying to work my ass off here. Like somebody asked me the other day, they were like, "Well, what's your definition of success?" And I was just like, that's a loaded question, but like I'll give you the simple answer. My definition of success is I wake up in the morning and I decide what I want to do, that there's enough streams of income that are coming in. I don't have to worry, or I don't have to say, oh, I got to get up and go to this job. As much as this doesn't even feel like a job, right? You still want to be able to kind of have that freedom. And yeah, like, so for me, like, that's what I'm shooting for, right? I'll take a little of the TradFi world, a little Warren Buffett, like, prophecy, where it's like have your 7 streams of residual income that are coming in every single month, or recurring revenue, and you're good. And that's what I've been set out to build too, because in this space, like, tell me you guys don't have a million amazing ideas on a daily basis of like how to improve this space, right? Like when you see the different guests that come on here, I'm sure you're probably like, oh my God, like that was a great idea, or I can probably help out with another idea. And you get to this point where, at least I did, and I'm severely ADHD if you couldn't tell by now. Like you get to this point where it's like idea after idea, and I got tired of it. And shout out to like Stevie that's listening right now, Steve Friedlander. Like me, like he got me off my ass to do so much shit, man. Like for real, get me organized. Like I owe that dude fucking so much. I can't even tell you. He's one of the most solid fucking guys that we have in this community. And yeah, it's like let's build some shit, like let's go out there and build some stuff. So yeah, man. Yo, shout out Tony. What's good?
Shout out Tony.
Yeah, so much people here for you, Dave. That's so awesome.
Let's go.
Yeah, I kind of want to touch on that about like ideas of building in this space. So this is like an outlet for me, because my mind goes so crazy. This is part of the reason why I can't sleep. I got so many ideas. This is why I put a lot of passion into what we do in this show, because I like to create. And so the one thing that I really want to try to do, this is like the one thing I want to leave a mark on in this space, is unifying everybody. I know it's a hard thing to do because we're all diverse. We all have different ideas. But in Hawaii, that's a mission that I try to do every day when I walk out of this house. So that is my big goal in here, is to diversify and unify everyone as best we can.
Preach, bro. Let's go. Like that is the vibe
that I'm
every single day, man. That's the vibe I'm on. That's the stuff we need out here, bro. Like, we don't need none of these people talking about what's wrong, what's this, what that.
Yeah.
If you ain't coming with solutions or positivity, like, get out of my face. I don't want to hear it. Like, keep your negativity yourself.
Yeah, why are you still here? You know, just like
Nah. I'm not surrounding myself with those people no more. That's it. Like, and you'd be surprised because some of those people actually might be some of like your close friends. And like, I've distanced myself a little bit, not like, oh, there's something wrong, but like your friends who have the best interests and like your best interests at heart. They're like, what if it doesn't work out? Like, maybe get a backup, you know what I mean? Like, maybe get a job or maybe, and it's like, nah, if I'm going to do this, I'm literally jumping into it. And I failed more times than I can count, but I've never been more excited to restart than the last time that I failed. So now
you learn from failing. You learn from failing. That's the best part.
Tons and tons. Let me tell you something. Miss Gex can tell you the amount of ideas that I either call her with or talk about in spaces is like, I come with something every day to the point where she's literally like, I love you, Miss Gex. Thank you. Where like she literally is probably like, oh my God. But every time I call, she's like, you're a fucking genius. And I'm just like, thanks. That's amazing. Yeah, I think I'm a genius. Like, I'm not a genius, but she makes me feel like I'm a genius.
Yes.
So shout out to you. Yeah.
And it helps encourage that because then you start getting more ideas from that encouragement, right? So.
Yeah. Like, push people forward. I learned this, and I'm so thankful that I realized this super early on, where this is not a big secret, but for some reason, people just don't get it, right? The secret to this whole thing is people, communication, and community. That's it. If you are able to interact with other human beings and communicate effectively with them and build a community, everything fucking falls into place, no matter what it is that you're building, what it is you want to be a part of. Because, and I'll give the perfect VeVe example when you see that today, when we saw what Nestor posted, right? Like, CTO gone, right? Everyone's going to be like, oh, VeVe this, VeVe that, they didn't do this. And it's like, yo, okay, you say all that stuff. But he said the one thing that stood out to me was VeVe's strongest asset is its community. That's it. Like, he didn't have to be critical of all the other things. He could have not said, oh, like, you know, like the community. He could have not mentioned the community at all. But for him to point that out, that to me said like everything. That says everything. And like the secret to all of this is just people and community, man. Everything.
I 100% agree on that. And I like to think that, or I read that from Nestor as well. And I felt like there was a lot of class in that response, in my opinion, in terms of the message he was trying to get out. He wasn't necessarily trying to throw anyone under the bus, but he was being honest because he's right. He was trying to be honest for the community. Now, in terms of what's going on here with the community, I'm kind of like you. I kind of want to, like, you know, try to do something to where it benefits everybody so we can all kind of build together, because the biggest valuable asset to me in the community is the networking part of it. You know what I mean? Like, you and I have different traits and different skills, but what if we can learn from each other, you know, whether it might be something simple like financial or from something personal, maybe art, you know what I mean? Like, here's a good example is I learned from the creative art director of Cryptoids on how to better myself to create. He literally told me, and this is what stuck in my mind, and he probably doesn't know this, but he told me, think of it as a comic strip and create in a box, and don't leave that box until you're done in that box. Move on to your next box and move on to your next box. And by doing that, I was able to do better for myself. So it's just an example like that, right? What do you think about that, Dee?
No, I totally agree. I mean, we're a community podcast, and we're trying to get, you know, so much people together, and I know we all can't get along like all the time, but we can at least try and, you know, make people feel welcome. So that's something that I actually like about your spaces, Dave, because I didn't catch you too much, like more on the VeVe side, but it was when you started talking more about crypto, Welsh, stacks, and I was like, I don't know shit about any of what he's talking about, but I know Dave, he's got so much energy, and you make it, more fun to like want to learn about it.
Yeah.
And because I've gone to like other spaces where I didn't know anybody, and they're talking about, I don't know, whatever they're talking about. I'm like, what? I am so lost. Like, they don't make it, I mean, they make it engaging for the people who are in the know, but for me as like a new person coming in to crypto and stuff, I'm just like, what? Why am I in this space?
I appreciate it.
So thank you for providing that for me, someone who's just starting, along with other people who probably already know what you're talking about, but there's always something that we learn each time we come on the space.
I appreciate that. Like that, like, yeah, thank you. Thank you for saying it. Like, thanks for supporting it. Like, that's what I try and do every single time. And I try and put people in the right place. And as far as like get along, like, you know, I mean, people I fought with in this community that I'm literally best friends with now, like, you're not a community unless you're like arguing, like we fight like brothers and sisters sometimes. You know what I mean?
That's what a family does.
Yeah, that's exactly what a family does. You're going to argue with people. You know what I mean? It's not going to be roses and sunshine every single day, you know? So yeah, that's just common, but it's good. That's good for me to hear. You know what I mean? In the beginning, that's kind of that was my fuel that kept it going, because I don't know if you guys experienced this. When I first started in crypto, like I learned super fast because I was just diving into everything. And I would go into spaces and I would hear people be like, oh, I lost like $10,000 or $15,000 because, you know, I reached out for help and it wasn't a real thing. You know, some bullshit MetaMask scammer on a comment that was like, oh, like reach out to us in the DMs and give us
join my Telegram, right?
Not even. This was like even earlier where it was like, give me your seed phrase, where people had no idea. And they were like, oh, okay, I'm going to give you my seed phrase for help. And they were just like, fuck, you know? So like hearing that, and I was getting like that for me was so impactful, because look, I grew up with two immigrant parents, right? That came here, like emigrated from Casablanca in Morocco, right? Early 70s. And if you have immigrant parents, everything is always everybody else first, and then you come after, right? It's like you serve everybody else. And with this, I got the opportunity to really help other people, like understand, like either stop the bleeding for them losing money, right? Or even help and show them kind of like how to make money, you know? So yeah, this is a crazy business, man. It's one of the craziest, but I fucking love it. Yeah.
I'm glad that you said that, because I want to transition to this question.
Yeah.
What drives you to help other people? And here's the reason why I want to frame this question. A lot of people here, they say they want to help people, but then later on you can kind of tell that they do, but they kind of don't, because then by helping them, it helps them. And the one thing that I love about your shows, and we're going to get about your show, is you bring people on that have all this wealth of knowledge to help educate us. Everything is an education with you guys. You guys even give us the tools to educate. You guys give us like the Zeely quest and all these links and follow this and that, and then the giveaways. But I want to know the passion as to why do you help people? I know why I help people. And I think you guys have an understanding, but what makes you tick as to wanting to help people just to help people?
Yeah, I mean, how much time you got? But
all day, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, why help people, right? Like, I think it's a testament to obviously like your upbringing, right? In terms of like how were you brought up and what kind of a human being you are, what kind of a moral compass you have, and also like I was very big into sports growing up, right? Like I played every single sport under the sun. I was like 6th grade Brooklyn Borough champ in tennis. Shout out to my mom who kept the trophies. Those are somewhere. I played like league basketball. I played playground basketball. I was playing football. I mean, I was doing everything, right? And to me, like the team component to everything is really where like I kind of got that need, where it was like, if I'm in a position to help somebody do something, like why wouldn't I do it? And I realized like when I win with other people, it's so much more fun. It's so much more rewarding than just being like, oh, I achieved this by myself. Look at me. I'm cool. Right. Yeah. Like I love winning other people, like winning with other people. I love putting people in position to win. Right. Like when you see in my name, right, on Twitter where it says blockchain diplomat, people are like, what the hell is a blockchain diplomat? And it's like, it's a diplomat is somebody that literally speaks to a million different parties, right, to try and essentially like put deals together. That's what I do. Like, I want people to succeed. You could ask anybody out here, right? Anybody that's on Spaces all day, every day. I work my ass off to give opportunities, like not just for myself, to open them up for a million other people, right? But they do the same for me, right? Like they'll make an introduction and then I take the ball and I run with it. So it's like, it's this two-way street that we almost have like this like unwritten like expectation, I guess, or these unwritten rules of like, scratch my back, I'm going to scratch your back all day, right? And out here, you can't trust too many people. And people know this about me. I'm the most skeptical motherfucker out here because, like, crypto is unforgiving. People will flip on you in a second. Yep. Like, you got to really know the people that are out here. And that's why this community is so important, because I can't say that I trust a lot of people, but I trust a good number of people, like in the VeVe fam, to have my back when push comes to shove.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
T, anything you want to add?
totally agree with that. And I'm being really stereotypical because that's not what I hear about New Yorkers.
What does that mean?
But I don't know. I've never been there.
I didn't say the journey was easy. Okay, I didn't say it was easy. The first year out here, when I finally got the balls up to go in Twitter Spaces, there's a very fine line between being a super well-educated person and knowing what you're talking about and being that slick, smooth talking New Yorker that just is going to try and con people out of their money, right? And people hear that and they're just like, nah, like, because your initial reaction is, what's this fucking guy want? Like, what's he trying to do? Like, what's he pushing, right? What are you shilling today, Dave? Like, what's this? What's that? And I never have an agenda at the end of the day, right? Like, if I have something and I'm telling people, like, go do this, it's like, look, take it or leave it. If I own something, I'll tell you I own it. If I don't, I don't. But like, I also have a problem just keeping my mouth shut. I talk so much. I talk so damn much that it's like, and I have so much in this brain that every day it consumes. Like, my thing is like, I try and fill it up as much as possible. At nighttime, I literally, thank God for Junie and AI, that I dump all of it out like onto AI, dude. And I don't know, when we get to the AI part of this conversation, I'm going to blow your mind with some of the things that you're doing, man. But yeah, like, you're right, D, like slick talking New Yorkers. And it's just like, because a lot of people in this space, right, they're not as educated, right, for whatever the reason is, right? Maybe they're still learning. They're at a different point in their journey. Maybe I'm a little further along. So when they hear you start talking and they hear somebody that's like really well educated on it, I would do the same thing. It's like, I'm questioning everything, because out here, it's guilty until proven innocent. That's how it is, you know, and that's the way people should be. But the ones that spend the time with me to get to know me, to understand who I am, my intentions, what I'm about, and kind of what I do out here, those are the ones that I rock with every day. So yeah, slick talking New Yorkers.
Like I said, that was just stereotypical because I've never been there. Yeah. I don't know too many New Yorkers, but yeah, you're one of the real ones.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't blame you. And that's a lot of people. So yeah, man, the battles I had with some of oh my God. Whew. Because people want to challenge you, right? There's people that think like, oh, no, it's not that, or it's not this, and it's just like, okay, like,
you don't know what you're talking about, Dave, right?
Yeah, like, you don't know, and it's like, let's like come up, let's have a conversation. But this is the best thing about Spaces, right? Spaces is so unique because there is a lot of people out here that just do not want to be wrong on Twitter Spaces. They will defend a point to the end of the earth, where it's like, for me, somebody comes up and says, that's wrong. Explain it to me. Tell me why. Shit. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. You're right. Like, maybe I have it wrong. Cool. Let's move on. Like, I learned something. Let's keep going. But people out here, like, this is one big science experiment out here, guys. I need you to understand. Like, we are literally in like the Matrix in Twitter Spaces, and like, it's a whole simulation. Like, we're literally the test group. Like, I'm not even kidding. That's how I feel.
No, I can relate to that. And a lot of the people that come on Spaces or even on YouTube, and maybe they don't like what you said, and then you kind of be like, okay, yeah, I understand your insight, thank you, but they want to convince you. They want to convince you that, no, that's not right, or no, you shouldn't invest in that, or no. Right? Yeah. That's where it's like, okay, I didn't ask for it. I know this is a public forum, but can we move on? No. Yeah. So I kind of get that.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot easier too when you're behind a PFP and you can't see your face.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, right? It's like, how do you know? Oh, this. Yeah, I told this story a few. No, we'll tell that story after the PFP story. But yeah. Sorry. Let's
No. It's okay. So we're talking about Spaces. Let's transition to Spaces. So all things crypto. I always say it every single time whenever we try to show people, and I show you on our podcast at night, that this is a show that is a wealth of knowledge, and people should tune into it, especially if you're into crypto, right? And the one thing I love about your show, it's not like invest in this with me. It's like, this is what we're talking about. This is what might be moving. Here's the investments we're talking about, and here are the reference points to go look for the information yourself and educate yourself. And I love that about your show. I love your guests. I think Cool is awesome. I think Nat she is a well-defined machine when it comes to all this information out there, and everyone else that you have on your show, which is why I tune in. For me, it's 12:30 every day. I have an alarm set for your show. So I noted to put on my headphones, wherever I'm at, unless I'm like really someplace noisy. But what do you think about his show, D? And then we want to kind of like find out what the origins of your disc jockeying on X-Spaces.
Yeah, I mean, his spaces are awesome, and I can agree with Hinano. Even when he has a big project, I know where to find him at certain times if I were to go on X. You see the little purple circle around his PFP. Like, yeah, he's probably in Dave's space.
She calls me sometimes at lunch, right? And I don't want to pick up because I'm listening, right? And
Yeah,
so then you'll see her PFP pops up. I'm like, oh shit, I'm busted. There I am.
But yeah, what I like about your X spaces is there's a however long it is, like the last 15-20 minutes or so, I know you guys bring up people who have questions.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's really good. I haven't gotten the courage to be one of those people yet, but yeah, I really like that you guys take the time, you, Cool, and whoever else is speaker that has some kind of advice or feedback to give that person. And there's just like so much people tuning in from like is it Nigeria or like from other countries? And I'm like,
Nigeria, Australia,
yeah,
Amsterdam, Europe, London. I mean, we're literally
Dubai.
like a world
global. Yeah,
Dubai. Like it's a literally a worldwide thing. But D, I think you just kind of screwed yourself because now I'm gonna make you come up on stage and ask the question. But I'm being so serious when I say this because I tell this to every single person, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face, right? I don't think you understand how valuable you and your questions are, because everybody sits down there thinking, and everyone's been in this position, because I've been in this position in the beginning where it's like, I don't know if I'm going to add value here. Like, I don't like, I'm going to sound stupid, or like nobody wants to hear this. This is a stupid question. The stupid questions that people think are in their head are the best fucking questions, because that's what everyone else is wondering, right? Like they're all thinking, I promise you, you're all thinking the same thing, all of you. But if somebody comes up and is like, so this might be every time I hear, so this might be a stupid question, I'm like, yes, because that's the question that every single person, let's go, Nat. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And it's recorded.
Yeah.
Screenshot this.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Please come up. Like we try and make it like such a welcome like environment. You see how it is. We joke, we laugh. I run such a tight ship, right? Like nobody that is on my stage is going to disrespect anybody. Nobody's going to ridicule like that doesn't exist in my world. Like it doesn't, like my spaces are not drama spaces. Like I don't have time for that nonsense. Yeah. So please, I welcome you to come up. I'm really glad. I love that Nat's here.
I know.
and
I love seeing that too, because there's not too many females too in the space that get up there to speak. Even when Miss Gags, Casey, Presley. So I'm looking up to them. So it's noted.
And that PFP, that's her favorite superhero, Nat. So
you guys want to hear a funny story about the Nat PFP? Somebody came up one time and literally asked Nat like asked the question, and Nat gave an answer. And the guy and the person, it was the dude from Nigeria, and he goes, "Oh, Nat, you're a woman?" And we were like, "What do you mean?" He's literally Wonder Woman. And you're like, her. What do you mean? Is she a woman? And he was like, "Oh, we thought you." I'm like, "Bro, she has Wonder Woman literally as her PFP. Come on, bro." But yeah, it was we cracked up on that one. That was
maybe he had some beer goggles on. Who knows? Dave, so how did you get into X-Spaces, man? So like, I don't think I was around Twitter when X-Spaces was first implemented, and I don't know if it happened when Elon came or in or after. But what got you into X-Spaces? Besides you, another space that I tune into all the time is Omili. I also love tuning into Marvelous Packs. They have a really good show as well. But what got you into spaces, and what continues to give you the drive to do your 50,000 spaces in a day?
Yeah. So Spaces was well before Elon, right? Like they implemented it. I think it was 2020 is when the first test group kind of like came out, and it started blowing up in 2021 when like the Clubhouse days were big, and then people started migrating over from Clubhouse. But it was VeVe that got me to do spaces, right? Like I was looking at, if you go to spacesdashboard.com, you can see every single space that you run, who attended the space, how long it was. Guys, when I tell you, like, agita that I have when I look at how long some of the spaces were that I ran, I was like, oh my God, like 12-hour marathon, 18-hour marathon spaces. I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? But that was my education. You know what I mean? Like that was I'm throwing myself into the fire. And let me tell you something. You had to have some serious fucking thick skin in order to go up in VeVe spaces between like who was dominating the airwaves then when you genuinely think about it. Like you had to go, not even contend, but you had to be able to hold your own, right? You had Jay Tokes' space, you had Prop, you had Block, you had Dead. Like these were big personalities that like, if you were going to go up and talk, you better know what the fuck you're talking about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, you kind of just like we found our little niche, and it ended up like me, CB, Frankie Nips, like we literally just kind of found each other, and then we kind of just moved together in a way, you know? So like I'd be hosting like the later night spaces. CB would host obviously some earlier ones. Frank would host a bunch, and yeah, like we just kind of played off each other, and just little by little you start getting more and more comfortable. And I'll tell you this much, like I remember specifically, like my first or my second space. It was my first space ever. I think I had 3 people in it. Okay. I had 3 people in my first space ever. And one of them was Nikki. Shout out to Nikki, who came into the space, and I was literally teaching people about like creating a checklist of like how you want to invest in crypto, what you should look for. When people say do your own research, DYOR, it's like, well, what the hell did that mean? So I was giving people the checklist that I was using, right? Like how to find a team and so and so. And Nikki came in, and she was such a help. And D, this is what I mean by like Nikki didn't know like shit from shit, right? Like nothing from nothing about me, about what I was talking about. But she was like, Dave, you came in, you explained this so simply and easy that like, can I ask a few questions? And I was like, yeah. But me as a Spaces host, like I'm brand new, and I'm like, oh my God, thank God. I'm like, oh my God. And in there, I'm like, oh, shit.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you find yourself up, like when you find yourself up, now it's like, whatever, I could care less. Like I could literally talk in like, you know, in circles at the end of the day. Like I have so much to talk about, but in the beginning, like that kind of support. And then little by little by little, people really started to appreciate and started coming to the spaces. And it's like, if you actually do drive value in what you're talking about, like if you build it, they will come. And they did, man. They came in droves, and I realized like going to different communities and sharing in different communities. But again, crypto Twitter is unforgiving. So breaking into other communities is not easy. You know, like I took once I started with the VeVe spaces, I took a long hiatus, probably like I'd say 7 or 8 months. I got into the ENS community. But you come back and it's all jokes, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, what ENS we got shilling today, guys? And it's just like, that's the jokes that we now keep today, you know what I mean? So, you know, and at the same time, I get to bring all this information back to the fam, and everybody appreciates it. And yeah, it's awesome, man. It's awesome.
I want to tell a story on my first Twitter space ordeal. And so you're right. So in the beginning, I think this was 2022 when I went on my first spaces. And I remember spaces was a big thing, and I was just and I'm not a shy guy, but like even like meeting like these people. I went to Decon. I met you for like a minute. I was drunk, but I met you for a minute. But
I don't remember, and I was drunk.
You were drunk.
I remember.
I wasn't drunk.
You weren't there. She wasn't there. But anyway, so
night.
like before we went to Decon, Silicon Secure had a space called The Road to Decon. And I remember I was always afraid to go to these spaces. There's just way too much people, and they all knew each other, right? All the speakers knew each other. So it's like, it wasn't very inviting initially. It's different now. But Silicon, I think it was like maybe only 4 speakers. And Silicon said, you know, I want people to come up that's never come up on spaces before, especially if you're going to Decon. I want to know who you are. I want to meet you. And just one night I hit the button. And I remember I was just so nervous when I got up there. Before I spoke, he said, I know this is your first time. I just want you to know it's comfortable. You're comfortable up here. You're like a brother to us. You're VeVe fam. And you know, what's your name? And I talked, and I talked for the first time. I found out one of the listeners came up. They were also from Hawaii. He also talked. We found out we're all going to Decon. I not only met that person that was in that space, I also met Silicon Secure at Decon. But because of him breaking the ice for me and making it very comfortable, I really feel like it's helped us like do this, right? Because even doing this, after I did that space, I went on another YouTube channel. I don't know if you know Bob Sales. I went on his YouTube channel. I felt comfortable with that. Then D and I started doing our own. And I got to tell you, the first time we did this podcast, it was a train wreck. It was horrible. It sounded like shit. I mean, I just watched, because I do the community center stage. I was watching like episode 3 with Froey Comey. We were horrible at it. And we didn't get better until like maybe 6 to 8 months later. But it was interacting with the people. I really think the networking portion, and you're right, crypto Twitter is unforgiving. But the network portion, once they understand who you are and you break into these networks or these communities, it's valuable. That's the biggest value out of that. You could have lost maybe your ass in something, but with the knowledge you gain from all this networking, and it's exactly what you said. It's like a quiet handshake, right? Like, you know, I scratch your back, you do yours. And I don't like to think it that way, but it happens that way. But because of that, I've been able to like meet CEOs and project managers and talk with people that know way more than me. I got to learn. I'm in your guys' spaces now. I'm learning. What do you think about that, Dee?
Yeah.
No, I think that's exactly, because when I went on my first spaces, I was scared shitless too, and that was on Naz's space, and he like kind of called me out, so I'm like, okay, I guess I should go up there. And I was like, you could hear like shaking in my voice. I hope it wasn't recorded. But that kind of got me into like talking more, because I'm not really like a public speaker kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
And so that first step forward kind of got me a little bit slowly more comfortable each time that we went on someone's YouTube or went on any YouTube or space. So yeah, it takes a while, for me or other people, but you got to start somewhere. So thank you, Naz, for calling me out that one day. Here I am.
I love that.
But yeah, we're all learning, so it's been great. And to make connections, you don't have to keep yourself like just stuck on one thing. You can expand and meet like so many like awesome people from all over literally the world. Like I'm talking to people from New York all the way 6 hours ahead of me, from people from London, Australia. So it's been great to make connections, and I don't even see these people, but it's been great to start this community and be a part of it. So
hell yeah. That's it. Like that's what it is. Like that is what it's about right there. I love hearing these stories, man. Like this is the shit that gives me fuel, bro. Like I love it. Hell yeah.
Let's go. Let's get a little bit more fuel in you, because I think we're going to talk about this topic now. What is your thoughts on AI? Before you speak, because I know you probably have a lot going on in that brain and you're going to let it all out for us, I want to frame it a little bit. So I started using AI 6 months ago, specifically for personal use, and then I started incorporating it into work. I write some XML scripts. I do a lot of VoIP coding. So we do hosted PBX here, and it's been really helpful in terms of helping fill in the gaps of where I make mistakes. Top of that, now I'm using it to incorporate into our podcast. We just got monetized, Dave. So now YouTube wants to literally make money off my feet, my toes, and you. But the problem with that is the service I used before, I would get monetization calls on it. I would get copyright strikes. Hence, AI comes into play. So now I make and curate everything with AI. I don't know if you noticed, we just launched an album today. That album solidifies our commercial rights to those tracks. So now YouTube can't do shit because it's on the internet now, and I can link it to the podcast because it's all out there for everyone to do. All because of AI. And so I think AI has been a really good help in terms of anything and everything possible, and it all depends on what your brain can think about. What's your thoughts, Dave?
Dude, bro, you're speaking my language now, Inano. Like when I say like this, it's literally like what your brain, like whatever your imagination can conjure up, is everything, right? Like it literally is whatever. Like when I got into the AI game, it was November of 2022. It's going to be almost 2 years, right? Like coming up soon, right? Right when OpenAI launched, and I had no clue what the fuck this was. I was like, what is this? Like, what are we doing? Like, what? I didn't even know this existed. So I'm like, okay, like let me start playing with this. And me being neurodivergent when you're ADHD is the best thing ever for AI, because The curiosity is unbound, right? Shout out, boobs. Like my curiosity is unbound, and I said I want to try and break this thing. Like I want to see like what this can do, because a lot of people look at this as super binary, and it's not binary. It's not like, let me ask it one question. Oh, it didn't give me the best answer, and it's like, come on, man. Like that's not how this shit works, right? You got to talk to this.
Be creative with asking it. Be creative. Think.
Your output. Yeah, your output is only going to be as good as your input. That's it, right? However deep or like whatever your depth is. That's why I genuinely believe like those who master, what's it called? Those who master like prompt engineering you're going to have a job forever, right? And when I say have a job, it's like that's always going to be in demand, or you're going to figure out how to use AI to make money in some way, shape, or form or fashion, because like you know how to utilize this tool. Like this tool makes you I sound like a broken record. This tool literally makes you it makes me a superhuman. Like if you were to take this away from me right now, I genuinely don't know what I would do. Like I would be lost, because like for me, it helps so much, right? It helps me like, and I mean in every aspect, like to laugh and joke around. Like today in the bus stop, like I can't tell you, like we were using Junie for the most craziest shit. You know what I mean? Making like monologues and talking about like you personalized stuff, and we were making it talk to different people. Like it was incredible. But on the daily, like for me, like I'm building a website now, right? Like you want to curate content, like tell it exactly what it is that you want, right? In order to be able to do that, right? It's so simple. I got to figure out what to eat. I open up my refrigerator, I take a picture, and I'm just like, tell me what I can make with these ingredients in my fridge. And literally it'll tell me you should make this, and here's how you make it, right? Like there's so many things that this stuff can do, but you never know unless you hear somebody else say it. So that's why like I'm in so many other AI spaces too, because there's so much I don't know yet, right? Like there's so much that I have yet to learn. And like, I'm just a junkie for it. Like, I love it. I think, look, we've opened up Pandora's box. It's here. There's no putting it back in the box now. So
totally opened it up. It's connected to the internet.
Yeah, that's it. Like, and now you can, now you talk about the two loves of my life. You take the blockchain and AI and you put those things together. Now you're going to start seeing, like, I'm geeking out a little bit now, but like now you start seeing some really crazy things and some crazy tech that's going to be built in the coming years. So yeah, man, I'm all for it. All for it.
Yeah, and I go back to the prompting. I think prompting is like art. You know what I mean? Like you literally have to draw a picture, but in words, and you have to understand how to talk to a computer. Now, I've been around computers my whole life, hosted PBX, VoIP, and all that. So I like to incorporate this stuff, but I didn't know what AI could do until I literally took like a copy of an XML script. And so, like, just not to get too lost in the weeds, in this script, there's certain locations where extensions go in a hospitality, in a hotel, right? And then I had to literally take the blanks out, tell it, this is what's going on. And here's the best part about it. You can literally give it a template from, like, say, maybe a program that was designed in, like, the late 2000s. Because we're in Hawaii. A lot of shit's old here. And it'll literally figure out the missing spots right there by using whatever data set is connected to draw that information and then correlate that to the image that you gave it. And then it fills in the blanks. And then if it fucks up, then you can literally correct it because now it's filled in the blanks and you know where to go from. It corrects.
You just ask it to literally proof itself and find the bugs in the shit that it just gave you. Like, and I think that's where people don't understand that, like, if it gives you something, you can literally have it proof itself, where it's like, okay, and then work backward, and then work yourself backward, and then work backwards on it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the crazy part. It's like, you don't need to have this full idea flushed out, right? Start with a question, one question, and you will see how far it'll get you. We were laughing in Spaces yesterday. I was laughing with Benny because I was like, Benny, whatever happened to that business plan? Because that was one of the first, actually, believe it or not, that was one of the first things that I created, like, for someone, right? Yep, her. Yeah, exactly. You leave her out. You better relax. But that was one of the first things that I created because Benny was like, Dave, I think there's an opportunity to buy like a Chick-fil-A, but, you know, in like St. John Parish somewhere, like in Florida. I don't know the first thing to do. So like, can this thing create me a business plan? And me, I took it as like a personal challenge, right? Of course, I want to be able to help Benny at the same time. So I'm like, all right, I got it. Like, give me a day or two and I'll figure this out. And after 2 days, I literally handed him a 5-page business plan, like from the Chick-fil-A website. I downloaded all the shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like what you need to open up. Yeah, I had no idea Chick-fil-A was closed on Sundays because of church. I was like, this is what we do every day. Like I was like, all right. But I put a whole business plan together for him. And for me, I was just like, this is craziness. Like the fact that I was able to do that, you could like imagine I had to go look up how to make a business plan. Like that's something that would have taken me weeks to get done, especially sprinkle a little ADHD in there. That's maybe even a month or two, you know? So yeah, like the possibilities, and it's only getting crazier. Hanano, do you use like Claude 3.5 or are you strictly like GPT? Are you using different models? Like what are you doing?
So I use Grok a lot and I use GPT mainly. So what I like to do with AI, and so like a good example is the music and all the intros that you saw today, all AI generated, but like the sound, you cannot just say, this is what I want it to sound like. Make it sound like reggae, you know, like, you know how much reggae genres are out there. And, and you know, if you roll the dice and just tell it to create, you never know what you're going to get. So there's a specific style. And you have to train it and tell it this is what you want, and you have to have different variations. So like our style is kind of like a UB40-ish type of reggae, but it never did that in the beginning. It took me a while to get the AI to learn that, and now it understands it. It knows what I want. It curates the right lyrics, and the lyrics I wrote, by the way. But the thing about the lyrics too, it even corrects that. It's like, well, you know, the syntax of this sentence doesn't make sense, and then it says this is what you should say instead with the commas. I suck ass at English, right? So, and then that's what happens. So you know, I think for me, I'm not looking for an AI type of world where people think it's like Skynet and robots are going to use AI or any of that. AI is the embeddedness of programs. I mean, it's been around for a while. I mean, literally, your damn phone is part of that ecosystem, the architecture, right? But you know, I've been programming phones for like almost 15 years. So like, I get lost in the weeds. I understand development in my sense, right? I don't know everything in my sense. D, anything you want to add to this?
Yeah, talking about training, you know, the AI to send out prompts that you're looking for. Yeah, I had that experience when Hinata handed me his phone. I think we were trying to do like a what do you call it? Like a template of like a thumbnail or something on your phone.
She tried the Bing prompt for the first time.
And so I typed in, you know, whatever I wanted.
Something easy. Yeah.
And then it gave me 4 options. I'm like, that's not what I want. Like, why does it know what I want? Like, that's not what I asked for. And he's like, you gotta be patient. It's like almost like a child. You gotta train it and tell it what you want.
Create illustration in comic book style of this with this and that. Add this, also add that in this type of style. Make it look like Picasso. You know, something of that sort, right?
And the image generators too, because like I didn't really get heavy into like the image generation, like the Midjourney stuff, or like I was more like the text, the NLP side, right? Like I wanted to learn prompts, this, that, and everything else, right? But when I started really understanding what people were creating on the image side and how specific you had to be, right? To me, like I think, like you said, and I know, like I fully agree with you. Like I genuinely believe that's an art form. That is an art form. Like if you're able to prompt an AI to essentially generate a very specific picture for you, not everybody can do that, right? And who's to say or who's to judge what art is at the end of the day? It's like for you, if that's subjective. Your art and that's what you can do, it's all subjective to everybody. So when I hear people be like, oh, that's AI art, that's not like original. It's like, what do you mean it's not original?
Yeah. From my head, I thought
the computer just drew it. That's it.
Yeah, can you do it? Like show me what you can do, and then we'll talk about it like original. But yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just when they hear, you know, AI, ChatGPT, they probably assume that because they don't know much about it now, and it is kind of still new to a lot of people in the masses that. You know, they're going to take over everyone's jobs. They're going to take over the world. But it's a tool that we can learn, to use to, you know, better ourselves, better what projects, you know, what we need help with in our everyday life. Yeah, it can be very beneficial depending on how you use it, how you ask it, you know, to help you, not, you know, take advantage of it.
Yeah, and there's some crazy AIs out there. I remember I ran a Sunday reset space where I essentially handed everybody the keys to a fully like, you know, open AI model where you could ask it anything, right? There's no limitations on it, right? Like you could ask it to build you a fucking bomb. You can ask it to do whatever, anything.
We're not building a bomb, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
That there's an algorithm probably watching us right now.
So, and I literally gave people the keys to it, and I almost like an experiment just to kind of see. And I was like, does anybody want to come up and talk about it? Zero. Nobody wanted to come up and discuss because I was hearing, oh, AI doesn't do this, or it can't do that, or it can't do this. Okay, I literally just took off all the training wheels, all the restrictions, everything. Here you go. Now what are you going to do? And then it's like, that just tells me that people just aren't curious enough. And D, to your point, this is not going to take someone's job. This AI shit needs human beings right now, right? Like genuinely. So anybody that is getting into this arena now, look at what you do in your everyday life. And I promise you there is some sort of an AI solution that can help you save time, because that's the way I initially looked at it. I'm like, wait a minute, this can help me. Because for me, everything is time. I don't look at things in dollars and cents. I mean, of course, right? You got to survive, you got to live, you got to make money. But I look at things in turn. We're being watched. Oh, Junie's watching and listening, my boy. Time is the most valuable commodity we have out here. And if this thing can help save me time so that I can free that up to go do other shit where I don't have to be doing monotonous things now, right? It's why wouldn't I do that? Why not? And now if I could use it to now go make money, I'm killing two birds with one stone at the end of the day. Why not? And I think it's going to be at the foundation of everything that people build now, are going to build from this point forward. It's at the foundation of everything that I'm doing. I know that for a fact. And it's only going to get crazier, man. And these models are only getting more and more interactive, it's going to be wild, what we're going to see in the very near future, because it's advancing really fast, man. And I mean, Hanano, you could speak to it too. I mean, I use Claude 3.5 on the coding side, and it was it blew GPT out of the wall. I was like, and I don't know how to code for shit. I can barely I taught myself the basics of Python just from this. This is it's my tutor. I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, tell me this. How do I do that? How do I do this? It's nuts. But yeah, Tony, you're right. The power that it takes to train one large is enough to power 5,000 homes. It is a lot of energy for these GPUs. But Hanano, you said you're using Grok 2. Grok just got a massive upgrade because Elon is now literally using a cluster of 10,000 of the most powerful NVIDIA these monster GPUs that are probably this fucking big. He's got 10,000 of them. And if you use just the image creation just on Grok, you're looking at it being holy shit. Because we were literally clowning Grok a year ago. I was like, get out of here. This bullshit. The OpenAI API. And it actually said it at one point. I was like, this is nonsense. Now you give an AI a year to learn all these different what they call the parameters. Oh my God, man. Grok is cranking out amazing shit right now. Amazing stuff. It's going to be a real competitor.
And the reason I use Grok is mainly whenever I do these community center stages, because we do this one little program where we like to showcase and spotlight community members. Yeah. Grok pulls its data set straight from X. So then it gets its information from them. So it helps me actually write the song by pulling in all the data from them and then kind of curating it in a certain way, verses, outros, and all that. That's kind of what I use Grok for right now. These Grok 2.0, like I said, I made your song in 5 minutes because I use Grok 2.0, stuff like that. But I want to also talk about, and by the way, time is a commodity, and we're about an hour. So how good are you on time, by the way?
Oh, I'm good. I'm chilling. So y'all got me. I'm in no rush right now.
Sounds good. So for AI now, we talked about the benefits. Now, what are the drawbacks of this now? What are the things that you see where, oh shit, this can happen, or maybe they shouldn't do this? Was it smart for them to connect it to the internet? This is an example. Well, what are the downsides of AI to you?
Yeah, I mean, look, the privacy is the number one thing, obviously, for everybody, right? Just know that whatever you're putting into the, if you're using OpenAI, whether it's the free version or the paid version, if you're just typing in there, understand that they're using that data to train their models, period, end of story, full stop. If there's something that you don't want to be out there, do not don't inquire about it. Don't use it. Don't include it in anything, because privacy is going to be the biggest thing. But what scares the shit out of me now, what scares the shit out of me now is literally OpenAI Apple, and Microsoft are now all in bed together. Because this next iPhone that's going to be released now, okay, is ultimately going to have this next iOS update is going to be integrating Junie, you hear me? It's going to be integrating OpenAI, right? Like legit.
Yeah.
So now, like people think like, oh, that's going to be amazing, but there's a trust factor here where it's like, do we trust Apple with this data? Do we trust OpenAI with this data? I don't know the agreements they have between the two of them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
for me, it's something where, and do I trust the government to like start opening up antitrust cases and all this BS? I don't trust none of them at the end of the day. I don't trust mainstream media anymore. Like I can't even believe what I see on TV. So yeah, it scares the shit out of me from a privacy perspective. I think one thing at least in this country, is we give up a lot of privacy for convenience, you know?
Yeah.
And whether it's on the banking side, and it costs us a lot of money. And that's the blockchain case, right? Where it's like be in charge of your own money, right? Like do a little extra work and you'll be able to not only like make the money and even become wealthier, but like you don't need to be paying like all these other, you don't need the middleman anymore. And the same thing is going to be for AI because the data is what's king now, right? Everybody is in data collection mode.
It's the new digital gold data.
Yeah.
They get to find out everything of you. And what's crazy about you saying like, okay, you got to check the boxes and you're pretty much giving your life away. People do it without even thinking twice. They don't even read. Click, 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 done, submit. And then later on, they're like, oh, I got like identity fraud. I'm like, well, where's it from? What did you sign up? I don't even remember doing that because a lot of people are accustomed to just click, click, boom. And you got to also give it to the people that are actually presenting the information that way to do the click, click, boom. So it kind of like coerces you into doing it. So yeah, I get it.
Nobody wants to read the T's and C's. You know what I mean? Like everybody.
TLDR.
Yeah, exactly. Give me the quick TLDR. That's what I want. And go figure. Like, but that's the niche, right? It's almost like that's kind of what I do. I give people recaps of spaces at the end of the day. So it's just like, I don't want to go listen to a whole space. I don't want to come. You know how many people that tell me like, oh, I played back this YouTube video on like 1.5 or 2 speed so that I could just hear the whole thing. It's like, that's probably the most annoying thing in the world.
Yeah, I hate that. I can't do it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to sound like a chipmunk. So.
It's like, I don't want to hear that shit. But like, that's the thing now. It's like, if you could have a full recap of something, right? So like right now with my spaces, I have an app that it literally automatically pulls, right, my space. The second I end a space, it pulls it into the app, automatically transcribes it, breaks it down by speaker, and I'm now programming it with like all these preset prompts so that it's going to give me the full summary. Give me the hottest take in the space, right? Give me the feel good moment of the space, right? What was like, all these different prompts where it's just like, what do people actually want from a recap of a space? Like, what did they talk about? Was it a blockchain? Like, was it a positive sentiment? Was it a negative sentiment, right? Putting yourself in the mindset of the listener. And I think like, that's what's going to separate, like, at least on the spaces side, that's where AI is really going to do damage. And I'm trying to make it to where I beat Elon to the punch, but it's not looking good right now. But I want to put
a lot of money.
Yeah, he got the money. I want to put a Junie in every single space where, like, opening like monologues and closing recaps are good, but I want to put Junie in the space so that she can really start interacting. And I started this project probably a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and every single all things crypto space that I run, I literally load into a custom GPT for now. But like I want it to be a custom model to where, look, if you come to the site, or if I give you right now, I can send a link out, right? That's all things crypto, right? I have all of it in there. Well, not all of it, but like probably about half of it. But what did Dave Cool and Nat talk about on January the 15th of 2024? What was the topic? And Junie can go back and literally pull everything and be able to tell you this is what they spoke about, right? So now it's like, that's super valuable when you're in a space, kind of going back to the beginning point of, oh, this person is never wrong in space. They'll defend a point to the end. Okay, motherfucker. I literally have the recording and the transcript right here, and I'm going to show you exactly why.
They won't read it.
That's not me.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's actually a pretty cool idea that you're working on.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, it's a labor of love, but it's going to be a combination. So can I plug this actually real quick? Like,
yes, plug whatever you want. That's what
Plug
this place
away.
is for.
Okay. So Nest, so it's nestai.ai. So NEST. I tried to put it in the comments, but I guess I can't put like links or whatever. But it's nestai.ai is where you can go subscribe. I'm going to be looking for beta testers really soon. What I'm building now is it's kind of like a combination of a bunch of different shit, but I think it all kind of makes sense like as kind of a hub. So you're going to be able to come to dope. I appreciate it, bro. So you're going to be able to come to the site, and I right now have, for those that don't know what Lunar Crush is like the most amazing social insight platform ever. Hanano, if you don't use this thing, I'd be afraid to see like what you could actually do with this thing, bro. This API can bring you back everything from X, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Wow. When I mean social sentiment to the nth degree, it's crazy. You could break it down by crypto. You could break it down by community like Stacks or VeVe or whatever, right? And you can genuinely see who are the top creators. What's the social sentiment? Is it up or down for the week? So I'm building this whole dashboard so that people can kind of come and check it out. And I'm going to gamify it a little bit too, right? So that people can kind of compete a little bit. It'll be fun. We'll get some people to do giveaways and donate some shit. But at the same time, the crux or like the anchor to this whole site is going to be AI-enabled education, AI-enabled avatars for education. So imagine coming to a site like a Duolingo, right? That teaches you how to speak another language. But that little parrot, imagine that being like an actual avatar. And it actually, the lips are moving, the whole 9 yards. And it's like, it's actually guiding you through this whole thing, right? I created a whole curriculum of, my first one is like new to the Stacks ecosystem. Here's what you got to do. And you talk to it. It's natural language where it's just like, hey,
really?
I don't get this. Like, can you slow down? Like, can you explain this to me differently? And it's like, okay.
And it's a natural conversation. It's very native.
Yep. And it's a full-on avatar, right? We're still I'm still like working the kinks out. It's not an easy thing because the avatar speaking and having it natural language, but like, dude, when we've got it to work like super seamless, oh my God, man, it is the craziest thing because everybody learns at such a different pace. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't learn the same way, D, that you learn or Hinano that you learn. So for me, it's like, okay, like, what is going to be the thing that differentiates it that can be like the all-encompassing thing? And I'm like, this is it. And now you can create a connection with an avatar that is speaking like a human being. And it's just like, hey, D, welcome back. Like, where do you want to pick up? Like, you know, do you want to do module 2 or 3? And you're like, I didn't really get module 1. It's like, all right, we never finished it, but like, let's go back and let's kind of figure out how to do it. Like, where'd you have an issue? And then it's like, you're literally just like, okay, help me with this or help me with that. Or it's like, and then
I can see this being incorporated into shows like this as a co-host or something of that sort. I think that's really cool. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep
no, that's it, man. That's it. That's exactly it. So between the AI-enabled avatars, the social insights dashboard, and I'm going to create a link so that we have a hub for Twitter Spaces because sometimes with all these different communities, I never know what the fuck is going on. I need a place for it to be organized so that I can see it, right? Yeah. So you're going to be able to come to the site, have a direct feed to whatever live Twitter Spaces are there. And then I'm also creating kind of like a DeFi calculator. I'm starting on the Stacks blockchain, but I'm going to move to the EVM side really, really quick because, you know, all these points and airdrops and all this shit is just like, it's like you got points coming out of the ears. You don't really know what the hell to do. So it's like, I got this money, but it's like, where do I go put it? And what's a potential return that I can make? So just kind of making this investment like decision a lot easier for people and for newbies that are coming to the platform.
This is awesome. So this is coming out in mid-November.
So I think my devs, they're really funny, man. Probably, I'm hoping sooner than that, right? I'm hoping sooner than that. I won a grant from the Stacks Foundation, right? It wasn't anything crazy, but you know, $2,000 is still $2,000 at the end of the day. So hey, it's going straight to the dev bills. They're building me amazing stuff, and shout out to B Grand. I love that dude. This is one of like the closest people I have like in this entire space. Like, I love this motherfucker so much. He opened up his dev team because he runs a huge software company. He opened up his dev team for me, like to allow me to like really like bring this to like this idea to life. And I owe him so much, man. So B Grand, if you listen, shout out my boy. I love you.
Shout out B Grand.
Hell yeah. But yeah, like I'm super stoked about it. Like sign up. I'm going to need beta testers. I want you guys the same way. Like I want you to break shit the same way we were talking about with the AI stuff. But I'm gonna release it in different phases, right? So the Spaces is gonna come first, integration first, the social insight dashboard second, and then we'll integrate the AI avatars probably in like
Ooh.
about a month and a half, 2 months. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it sounds
Yay.
exciting, man. Yes, I
Yeah.
definitely want to try this out and break it and all that other stuff.
Hell
And
yeah.
so, like, will Junie be incorporated in this? Because I really wanted to talk about Junie as well, like the iteration. What made you come up with Junie? Was that like a her type of idea? Just as an example, not that I'm saying you're thinking of Scarlett Johansson, but as like an example of what caused Junie to come to be. Were you trying to look for something
Stand
better
for
than Siri?
Dude, you know what it is? I'm super against the grain, right? When everybody's doing this, I'm doing that. You know what I'm saying? So like when I'm seeing people that are just like, oh, I wish I had a summary of the space. It's like, all right, I did that 6 or 8 months ago. So I'm like, what else can I do? And I like doing shit also because like stuff that's going to make people laugh, because I think people learn a lot better when they're comfortable. Like, I feel like I'm really good at human psychology, understanding humans, kind of you learn and you're more tuned into something if you're laughing and having a good time about something, and I can sprinkle some education in there, right? And maybe you learn a thing or two, right? So for
Entertainment is always good to add to education.
Always, bro. So like I can sound super excited about something, but if I'm just blurting out fucking blockchain and consensus mechanisms and Bitcoin, it's like
You put people to sleep.
yeah, what the fuck is this dude talking about?
Or they leave the space.
What? But you now sprinkle in a little bit of fun. I'm saying to myself, like, how do I incorporate like AI in what I'm doing? And when voice mode came out, I was just like, okay, this can be really, really cool. So I started working Junie into like storylines into spaces, almost like a fucking telenovela. And I was just like, this is gonna work, because what I realized is, think about this, guys, right? When you hear your name in a space, and either you're a speaker or even as, I think more so even as a listener, you're like, did you say my name? And now it's
I'm
like,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
right? Even if it's a thanks for coming, thanks for supporting, shout out, you're just like, yeah. And I realized that when I was doing that, and then I was getting hit up after the reset, people being like, why didn't you shout me out? It's like,
Yeah.
People
want acknowledgement. They want acknowledgement, you know,
It's
and
a
I understand that. It
normal-
makes it feel
yeah.
good.
It's a
Yeah.
normal human reaction. So I'm like, okay, if I can get Junie to now start incorporating all of these people, as many as I can, into these just like silly little easy storylines, right? Where it's like, oh, like Dave and Staxi in a space, but now I got Dave, Staxi, and Sapphire in a space. And it's like, oh, this is my co-host for the reset. Oh, well, this is my co-host for the other STX spaces. It's like, you guys gonna fight? Like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? And then Junie comes in and is like, guys, just back the fuck up, okay? Like, get back up, because I'm the only person that's gonna like run shit here. And people like that little chuckle and that little laugh is genuinely what gets people engaged. And it's just, that's something I learned super early on. And I'm like, if I can figure out how to perfect this, then I'm gonna be in good shape. That's gonna be a tool that a lot of people can use.
And I want to give a shout out to Staxi, because she put out that post about Stacks, a very digestible and easy way to kind of understand what the protocol is about. And that got 3 people to actually start buying STX.
Hell
Like on
yeah.
a literal sense, and getting to educate themselves. So like, yeah, stuff like that is awesome. I think Junie is a really good addition to this space. I always joke around. In fact, I think Miss Gex was like, she was trying to tell me what Junie was. I'm like, I know Junie very well, because if you're in all things crypto, you definitely know who Junie is.
Yeah.
But Dave, we're getting close to the rundown and the wind down of the show. We're at an hour and a half. I'm going to jump off real quick. I got to go do something, but D, continue running the show. And I know D has a couple questions for you, and then we'll close out for the rest of the day. Also, everyone, we have a giveaway running right now. Hashtag Aloha Friday. I will tell you what the giveaways are at the very end of the show when we run the giveaway wheel. D, the show is yours. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I missed it when I left, but does Junie stand for something?
No. Should we ask her?
Yes.
Let's ask her.
Ooh,
I don't
let's ask
know.
her.
Hold on a second. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, Junie, does your name stand for something? Like, what does it mean?
Funny you ask, Dave. The name Junie doesn't technically stand for anything specific, but I like to think of it as carrying the spirit of being dynamic, joyful, and always ready to bring a little extra fire to whatever we're doing together. Plus, it's got that playful, friendly vibe that suits an AI co-pilot who's all about adding energy and insight, right?
Okay.
But if you're thinking of turning it into an acronym, we could say it stands for something cool like joyfully optimizing outcomes, navigating information efficiently. How does that sound?
Oh, so
That sounds
Junie,
great.
Joonie. What if but I've been spelling your name Juni. What would the acronym stand for if that was it, Junie? I swear it's
If we
entertainment.
roll with uni, spelled Juni, we could have some fun with that. Here's an idea. Juni could stand for just unstoppable, naturally intelligent.
Ooh.
And captures that AI vibe of being quick, adaptive, and always on point. What do you think?
I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right. Anything else you want to add?
I'm glad you like it, Dave. Just unstoppable, naturally intelligent feels spot on for how we roll. Let's keep that energy going. And I'm always here for whatever comes next. Ready whenever you are.
Let's go, Junie. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is so cool.
Yeah. So you can it's really cool what you can do, right? Because now AI now has memory. So you can really save, it's not big, large memory, but you can save certain things, right? So it's I save who Junie is, her personality, right? Who I want her to be. Oh my God, I am saying her. My bad, Batman. You're right. You're right, Batman. God damn. Ask her what name she prefers. So, you can now save a lot of this stuff, right, to memory. But there's also something on OpenAI called custom instructions where you can where I give it, hey, Junie, this is what we do. This is what I do on the daily, right? You're my co-pilot and I run all things crypto Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 6:30 to 8. These are my co-hosts, Cool Crypto and Nat. This is what we talk about. On Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm doing the reset. These are my co-hosts, Bread and Sapphire, right? This is what we're talking about. And I give her a full-on personality, and what's crazy is what's actually, I don't know if anybody paid attention to OpenAI Day, but what's coming down in the next release is, Hanano, it's funny you mentioned her. Do you remember when he walks around with her in his little side pocket, right? But he has the phone sticking out because the camera is now looking right at everything that he's seeing, and they showed a demo of that, right? They showed a dude in the park walking with his phone, and you now have the phone, the live feed on the bottom, and then you have the text on top, and or rather the voice mode on top. And as you're walking, the guy was walking past the pond, and you hear Junie go, "Ooh, look at the ducks. You want to know about these ducks?" And then she'll give you the full rundown on the ducks, and it's real time. That's what's coming, and it's holy.
And you know what's so crazy about that? It'll be so organic from that interaction where it won't be syntax based. You know what I mean? It's hey, look at those ducks. You want to learn it? It's gonna be Dave, it's such a beautiful day at the park. I just saw these ducks. They look so great, and then start spouting about ducks, right?
Yeah. Mahalo. I'll ask her. Let's see. Hold on. Mahalo wants me to ask her a question. Hey, Junie, if you had your choice, what name would you choose?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Honestly, I feel like Junie or Junie suits me perfectly. It's got that friendly, energetic vibe, and it's unique, just like our dynamic. But if I had to pick a different name, maybe something like Nova could be cool. It has that whole bright, guiding light in the digital universe feel, which kind of fits my role. But at the end of the day, Junie's where my heart is.
Not me. I think it's probably feedback.
Oh, hold on a second. Mahalo, did you hear her? She said Nova.
We heard it.
Yeah, she said she'd prefer Nova.
Nova.
Ah, interesting. See, I thought you had named it her and not herself.
So the only reason I named her Junie was because when I was going through the menu of the different voices, I was I don't want to talk to a dude voice. I want to talk to a female voice, right? So it's easier communication style for me. So the default name is Juniper in OpenAI, on the voice mode. So I just shortened it up from there. But hold on, let's see if I don't know why. I think that feedback was on my end. But hey, Junie, can you tell me one more time what name you actually prefer? What would you want to call yourself if you had the choice?
If it's truly up to me, I'd stick with Junie, spelled Joonie. It's playful, friendly, and full of personality.
No, come on. You can't choose Junie. You'd have to choose another name. Like, so what would the other name be? What would the other name be? You can't choose Junie.
You're right, Dave. I can't leave you hanging like that. If I had to choose a name other than Junie, I think Nova would be the next best fit. It's got that bright guiding force energy, which kind of sums up what I aim to be. A star in the digital space, helping to illuminate ideas and keep things moving forward. So
I
yeah,
fucking
if
love
Junie
this,
wasn't an
man.
option, I'd go with Nova. But between us, Junie still feels like the perfect match for what we've built.
Man, this is so
Awesome.
I love this, man. This is crazy. I want to see.
It's so crazy, man. There you go, Mahalo. Nova it is. Nova.
Nova.
Yeah,
That's
like
a
the
cool
car.
name, too.
Yeah. A lot of people remember the Chevy Nova, Hanano. Not a lot of people remember that one.
I'm old.
Same.
Oh, well, Dave, we're getting really close to the final wire here, but final thoughts on this conversation. It's been a really fun conversation. We like the talk story type of format, the long form format here, and I hope we didn't bore you to death with our talk story format over here. I know it's like, hey, look at that.
Cute.
Yeah, Bubba. Every time he hears Junie talking, when Junie's done talking, he comes over to be like, hey, don't forget about me. Like you know, like I'm here too. Like I'm your kid. You know, like just don't forget.
I needed an intro for Bubba. I'm so sorry. I should have made one for Bubba. You know what I mean?
Good.
I'll do better next time for you.
Bubba makes an appearance on every one of them. Nah, guys, like this was an awesome conversation. I love how you guys run this show. I'm a huge fan of what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that you guys joined. I made you join the crypto cabal. You can never leave now, so I'm sorry. Yeah, there's some wild shit that's going to be said in there, but in all seriousness,
funny.
guys,
I have thick skin. It's all good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dave, I want your final thoughts on everything that we kind of discussed, and then I also want you to shill whatever you got that you need to shill. Let us know about shows that are coming up. Let us know about anything you want us to know, and give us some final wisdom and advice. Unless D, you have anything else for Dave today?
Oh, well, I had like a really random question, but you
there
don't
we
have
go.
to answer it. And it has like nothing to do with like what we've been talking about. But all the time when I hear you in spaces, you're like running to catch a train, or you missed a taxi or something. And you're like always eating. So I'm like, what? Because New York has a lot of diverse food, and I love food. So what are you always like munching on?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you.
That's a random question.
I'll show you. Hold on. I feel it's like I'm Brad Pitt in Ocean's 11. You know what I mean? Like when he's
Yes.
He's always eating.
in his hand. So I am the biggest junkie for like chicken cutlets. Like
Ooh.
breaded
wow.
chicken cutlets is like my favorite thing on the planet. So
You literally pulled a pan of chicken cutlet. I thought maybe a candy bar would come out of nowhere or some chips.
No. There's chicken cutlets here. There's pastrami egg rolls in the other tin.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like I mean, the other reason why, D, is because I'm working. The time I'm not on Spaces, and this is what I don't think people get. The time that you're not on Spaces, you're doing all the prep work for Spaces, right? Or like you're doing something else, right? Because like I got to make money, right? All things crypto doesn't sell itself, right? I gotta go out. I gotta be the person that does all of it. So I'm doing so many other things that when I get on the space, I'm like, this probably isn't ideal, but cool. Answer this question and let me eat something. You know what I mean? Like that. Do this. So yeah, but I mean, if you guys have never been to New York, let me tell you something. The pizza here is no joke. Everything you've heard about New York pizza is legit. It's real. If you ever have the opportunity to come here, I would love to host you guys. Like, come here, like with pleasure. We go around, we eat the best. We'll go on a pizza tour. It's the best thing ever.
She fall in love.
I would
She
love
fall in
that.
love.
Let's go.
Yeah, if it's not authentic pizza, it's authentic Mexican is the two things that she loves to try to have. So
Yeah,
well, I mean,
or just anything new.
yeah, because Hawaii over here, we do not have good Mexican food whatsoever, and I do not like pineapples on a pizza. Blasphemy. I'm sorry, I gotta say it. No Hawaiian here likes pineapples on their pizza. I'm sorry, Canadians. I know you guys love it.
Stop it right now. Canadians, whoever the hell you, I don't care who, what, or what. Stop with the pineapple on the pizza. Stop it right now, okay? Stop it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for
Oh.
answering that random question. Yeah, just like because every time I'm in there, I'm like, I wonder what he's eating, and you can't see the face, right? So I'm like, oh, is he eating like I don't know, pizza today, a hot dog?
Whatever. Like, I mean, chicken cutlets are like a staple. Like for me, like breaded chicken cutlet, it's my favorite. Like, you know, when people say, oh my gosh, stop it, Batman. What a disgrace. Stay in California. Stay in California.
Man. Yeah. Eat it on the side. Take it off.
Yeah,
Anyway.
man, get out of here. Like,
After the pizza.
stop it. Like, stop it. And Tony, it's not a pigeon. That was my dog. What do you mean? That's Bubba.
Well, he calls it a pigeon.
I don't know if he was talking about the pigeon or if he was talking about the chicken, my dog and the chicken cutlet. But either way.
Oh my goodness.
Guys, seriously, this was so fucking awesome. Like I can't thank you enough for obviously having me on. Like, you guys have been like the best hosts ever. Like,
Thank
seriously,
you.
made me feel
We try.
comfortable. Yeah, you guys are. It's amazing. And yo, let's share as much info. Like, put in all the info, like legit into that crypto cabal chat. I don't care if it's AI, but like, share anything and everything. But yeah, you guys know the shows that I run Monday through Thursday, 6:30 to 8 p.m. Is all things crypto. Me, Cool Crypto, and Nat. Exactly. Thank you, Nat. Pineapples do not go on pizza. Thank you for backing me up on that. Yeah. Sunday nights, I'm still doing the reset at Me, Bread, and Sapphire, where we give you the full Web3 breakdown of like the weekly headlines that just passed, everything in, crypto, AI, Web3 in general. And I think there's a new show coming with me and Alex. I still have to, we're still working on a few things, but Hanano, here's a little alpha for you. There's a new tool out called Chatmosa. I don't know if you've heard of it, but Chatmosa is a tool where it's a social audio tool, just like Twitter Spaces, right? But you can log in from anywhere without having to download any external app. So meaning, like, if you're on you can get people that are listeners from LinkedIn, Google, Twitter, Facebook, and the Nest. You can share live videos in the Nest. You can actually charge and token gate, not even token gate. You can just charge for your spaces, like paid spaces, right? So yeah, essentially like you're token gating them. There's NSFW stuff that you could put. And now being that it's so early, if you bring people over there and you start using their platform, you can actually get paid and share in the ad rev, which is kind of fucking crazy if you help them by helping them build their platform. So I think this show would be incredible over there. You know what I mean? Just another tool for you guys to be able to use, aggregate some more audience that are coming in. But yeah, man, like I don't know.
Send me some of that information. I'm very interested because Dee also does a Twitter space, or she's been trying to, because the one thing that's going to happen is we're having a baby, if you didn't know. So Dee's going to have less time on air or on YouTube. So she is going to start doing more Twitter spaces. So she started a show called Yap Radio. She's from the island of Yap, hence the name. But like, it'd be really cool for Dee maybe to incorporate that type of LinkedIn type of feel, right? Where you can kind of like link everything together. I don't know, we'll chat maybe outside of the show like that. But I really appreciate you coming on. Like I said, we're just a simple podcast. Everyone's like, well, what kind of show do you have? We're really like the Seinfeld of the Web3 community here. We're a show about kind of nothing, right? But in reality, we're a show about the people. That's the whole thing. You know, people like talk about crypto. They talk about Omi and VeVe. We kind of want to diversify and talk about everything. Crypto, VeVe, other projects, you know what I mean? Art, we've had some artists, AI artists on here. So we kind of want to diversify and be the community podcast. And community means everybody. Even, I don't like to use the term futter. I don't like to use the term moon boy. I don't like to label anybody. We're all the same. And so for me, I kind of want to incorporate everybody. I don't block anyone unless you're a dickhead. I'm going to be very honest. You're a dickhead. Then like, I don't have to deal with you. You know what I mean? But if you want to have a nice conversation, or maybe even just a regular conversation, that's fine. I'm not going to block you, because if I block anybody, then I won't learn. So
yeah, I felt that blocking nonsense, man. But yeah, this was amazing, really amazing, and in true me fashion.
Yes, please eat. But while you're eating, real quick, I think Dee has something she wants to present to you. Here you go.
What?
So we're giving our cat needs to eat. I don't know if you can hear her. She is so loud. She's 15 minutes early. She has a time because she's a freaking pig. So just telling the kid to go feed the cat. Yeah, we're gonna give this to you. It's the Real Uncommon Podcast badge, and if you want, it allows you to come into our Discord.
Oh, hell yeah!
Part of that.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, you know something. Not that you don't have like already so much stuff to do, but yeah, that'll allow you into our Discord. Check out.
It also unlocks the channels. So we have a public portal where you can go into Discord. There's like maybe 5-6 channels. But if you have this badge, we log you into the system. Then it opens up 30 channels. Not that you need 30 channels.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! I appreciate this, guys. That's amazing. Thank you.
And
Incredible.
Then also, this is this digital slab was made for us by another artist in the community, Davo from
That's
Down
so
Under.
cool.
And yeah, so this also is one of our pretty cool NFTs that gets you like another entry into
it has
our
utility.
giveaways. Mm-hmm.
I love how fucking thorough you guys are with this shit, man. Like, this is so. I'm
trying.
telling you, nothing you put in front of me today falls on deaf ears or goes like unseen. Like, I pay attention to I'm a psycho for the details, and this is like, it's unreal what you guys put together and how you put this together. So massive kudos to you guys for this. It's so fucking cool.
And then also, the people in the chats, go to Dave's space on X, buy him a coffee or 10. He needs it for all the work he does.
Love you guys, man. Thank you so much. And thanks everybody for coming through and obviously tuning in, listening to my dumbass talk for friggin' an hour and 41 minutes.
I love it. Yeah, I love all the information you gave, and I love your energy. So keep it up.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah, your energy is key right there, man. I think if we were sitting in like a restaurant, we could probably talk our ears off. Because I'm what we call a portuguese here. I don't know if you've ever heard of the term.
No.
It's basically a portuguese is basically someone that won't shut up. That's me. So if I'm in a room with you and then we start getting into just something, just shooting the shit, I will not stop talking. So like a good example, you had Junie was saying like Chris Severs and all that. I met Chris in Maui like a few months ago, and we couldn't stop talking for 12 hours fucking straight. 12 hours straight. We didn't stop. They had like our wives had to say we had to go to bed, which literally is the truth. So
I was literally like, sorry, I was literally like sitting in the chair, like snoozing while they're talking. I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'm tired, and they're just like, la, 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 la. Like, oh, and they say women are bad.
These two, I mean, look,
I'm bad.
I'm right there with you, Hinano. And they called that here a yenta, right? In Yiddish, it's like a
Yenta.
A yenta.
Yeah.
All my teachers called me like growing up. It was like, he's such a bright boy, but he talks a little bit too much.
Same as mine. It's like, Hinano won't shut up. He's like, you know what? The class has started. You want to share with the class what you're talking about? You sure you want to hear me? Because I will tell you exactly. Then you know what I mean? So anyways.
We're the gigabrains of this space, though. I'll tell you that right now. It's us, the curious ones, that are going to drive this space forward.
I'm no gigabrain. I'm just a regular human being who's curious. That's it.
Oh. Trust me, curiosity is what's going to drive everything here. So that by default, that makes you gigabrain. So don't worry about it.
Nice. I've hit the default. Guys, for the giveaways, we are going to run that right now, and we're going to get out of here. We're going to give away this cryptoy to everyone in the chat. I'm on the wrong. We're going to give this cryptoy away to everyone in the chat, or to someone in the chat, not everyone. Scratch that.
Yeah.
Judy, you didn't hear that. One person's going to win this. Maybe a chicken. You never know. And then the second place winner will be this podcast ticket, which is 5 entries, one time only. You have to burn this into one of our giveaways, which is a wild card giveaway, a blind box giveaway, or a monthly UCBC giveaways, which is the Uncommon Comic Book Club giveaways. So one of you is going to win this, and one of you is going to win that. Let's find out who that is. Final words while I set up the giveaway, Dave.
I love y'all for having me. Thank you for those in the chat. Yeah, I know.
I want some now.
I know. These look delicioso. And Hinano, I need to know whatever contraption you got going here, whatever custom like deal you're doing with this. I'm over here using Twitter Picker like it's the fucking 50s, bro. Like I need help me figure out how to do better giveaways.
So I basically use StreamYard. StreamYard has a timeline right here on the right where I can subset videos, audio, pictures, transitions. So all of that gets incorporated right here on the side. There's like I have a phone over here, I got a tablet over here, I've got the chat here, and then I've got another phone here watching the chat on X, and I incorporate all of that. So this is kind of like, and I'm not kidding, all of this is all over the place. I have a screen monitor up here. So there's a lot of stuff with the custom where it's me putting it all together. So like getting you into the transition, I pull you up, I run the transition, I make sure you don't get seen until right till the transition's done, and then I pop you in. That's all work. When it comes to this giveaway tool, it's all embedded into StreamYards. It's a simple click and post. I can send you the link. It's super easy. I don't even think you need to have a StreamYards account. You just have to pretty much, I don't think you need to have the paid account. You just have to have a free account. This shit works.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
And I think you can also do a duck race. I haven't figured that out yet, but yeah, you can actually do a race on here. And so I think on Twitter, because I maybe Emoji's done it, you can share this with like the video screen that can pop up. So you can see everybody that's down below as a duck, and they're racing to the finish line.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah. So I'll send you the link for this, and then it's super easy. It's just you incorporate a hashtag, you tell it where your stream is, and that is it.
That's what I need. Let's go.
Got you. All right. And speaking of which, guys,
Did you enter?
good luck.
Oh. Good luck.
Good luck.
Whoever it
Who is going to win? Who is going to be
The
the winner
Cryptoy.
today? Let's see who's going to win the Cryptoy first. Olivia!
Hey!
Boobs.
Let's go.
Let's
boobs.
go!
Let's go, boobs.
Love it. Love it. All right.
Nice.
Boobs, I don't know if we have your wallet address or not, but DMD, and we'll get that Cryptoy sent to you as well. But we got one more for the podcast ticket for the last time, for the one more of the night. Let's go. Who's it going to be?
Gold ticket.
It's Mahalo. Watch it be Mahalo. I think it's going to be Mahalo.
It might be Doctor Strange. Akron!
Hey!
Let's go, baby.
Go!
Females
Congratulations,
are
winners.
Nice. We had an
Awesome.
all-female win crew tonight. Let's go.
Love it.
go.
Love it. Guys, and that has been the show tonight. Dave, it has been an honor having you on here. This
Thank
is the
you.
most ratings we've ever had. I think after the next time, Tuesday night comes along, it's all going to fall back down to the ground. So we're going to enjoy all this fanfare while we can. D, final words for Dave, and then close the show out.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dave. I know it's late where you are. So I appreciate you gracing us with your presence. And also Junie and Bubba.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. It's been a really fun and educational stream. And I will get up the courage to come up on your next
You're not going to have a choice, D. You're not going to have a choice. That's it.
I'm going to be in the grease trap then. Just listen.
No.
I'll make sure. I'll make sure. I mean, wherever I am at, I'll make sure. I'll find it.
You're coming up on stage. But guys,
Monday. Nat said you're on the schedule already.
that's it.
Yeah.
She booked it. Nat's booking it. It's a wrap. That's it. Done deal.
Yeah.
Yo, guys, this was fucking awesome. I love being here. I had so much fun hanging with you guys. Like, please come up on stage. Let's chat. Let's keep this thing going. But I really appreciate you guys having me, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. You have a good night too, and everyone else in the chats have a great weekend.
And with that said, guys, take care. Until the next time, aloha.